You have been warned.
You really have been. Alright, this is a movie review for Resident Evil Redemption, the newest Resident Evil that just came out to theaters. This probably has been uploaded a little bit after it's been in theaters, but still, it's a movie review. If you do not want to watch this because you haven't seen the movie and you don't want any spoilers, just click away from the video.
Away.
Just
do
go.
It. It's for your own good. Go away.
This is your only time.
It's your only chance.
If you don't do it now, you're going to fuck it for yourself.
You're messing it up.
Come on.
You on?
Yeah, yeah.
Has anybody who has seen the movie on? Okay, now we can talk.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the movie, Steven? Did you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I give it a thumbs up. But if I have to rate it from 1 to 10, what would you rate it first?
Well, on the thumbs up scale, I'm gonna go, a little half up, half neutral, half up. I'll give it like a 7. I'll go like a 7 on a 1 to 10 scale.
I think I'm a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with like
You
a full.
You gonna be generous?
Yeah, not a full 8.
Yeah.
Not a full 7 point. Not a lower than a 7.5. I'm actually
You're talking like 7.8.
7. No, 7.75. Like a 75.
7 3/4.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it that kind of rating because I think it was way better than the last movie.
Yeah.
Afterlife wasn't that good, but
Yeah.
this one, I think it was way better done.
So, yeah, it was. There was a lot of cool stuff that they added that they didn't have in any other movies. I think they did a really good job on this one. So, let's see. What do you think about the fight scenes? What about the fight scenes?
The fight scenes. The fight scenes were a lot better than they were in the last previous movie. Not as good as it was in Resident Evil Apocalypse or Resident Evil, the first one. I think the fight scenes in those were classical and really good. By far, I won't say it's as good as the original first 2 movies, because the first 2 movies were really good. Then they got kind of out there with Extinction, and then Afterlife was they went kind of down.
Yeah, they started here and kind of went down to here, and then they came to here, and then they went up a little bit.
Here's Resident Evil, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction, Resident Evil Afterlife. I'm out of the screen. Afterlife.
Stop that.
Sorry.
No, we're cheap.
And then Resident Evil Redemption. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's popping up there.
It's slightly more up on the scale. The big grief that I have with the fight scenes is the fact that since this movie was in 3D, they tried to integrate the fight scenes around 3D too much instead of focusing on actual good fight scenes. Like instead of actually being a good brutal fight, they're like, oh, how can we get this punch to go to 3D? So let's have her stand here and do a really stupid punch so it goes into the screen and at your face instead of actually, looking realistic and having a good throw.
Yeah.
I just dropped something. Damn it. Let's see. The characters. I love the fact that they went to the fans a lot for this movie. I think they caught a lot of flack in the old movies for having nothing to do with the video games except Lickers, Nemesis, and the zombies. Other than those 3 things, the movies had almost nothing to do with the games.
They added 1 or 2 characters from like in Resident Evil Apocalypse, they had Jill Valentine. Yeah. They had Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield in Afterlife, and they had Claire in Extinction, but only Claire was in the Extinction.
The characters that they added were really nice. They added Ada, which was good, and I think they got a really good actor to play Ada. She was smoking hot, and I think her face was just perfectly matched to Ada in the game.
Yeah,
they did her hair right. They had the dress with the leg cut up on the side. Sorry for the red lens flare. They just did a really good job with Ada, I think. And
one thing that me and him were so. Like it was.
We didn't expect it. It was such a plot twist.
I'm talking about the fight scene with Ada and Alice.
Well, that was cool too. Okay,
we'll
talk about that.
Let me just say it now because I'm gonna. The scene in Resident Evil 4 where Leon is after he gets out of the maze. If anyone's a Resident Evil fan and played Resident Evil 4, they know this. After they get out of the maze in the castle, you get these two pieces, you put them together, and you can open a door. And as you walk through the door, it goes to a cutscene. It's one of the most famous cutscenes in Resident Evil 4, I think. It's when Leon meets up with Ada for the first time since Resident Evil 2. They get into a big fight sequence. Ada kicks his gun. Leon gets pushed back as she kicks the gun. She goes into a flip in the air to grab the gun while it's still in the air. Leon runs up with his knife and goes to her throat. She goes, grabs the gun, and aims at Leon's head. And he says, "Knives don't run out of bullets."
Now, they took it upon themselves to go above and beyond what they really had to do for the movie, and they recreated that scene perfectly with Alice and Ada.
Yeah.
All they did, it was the exact same scene. All they did was replace Leon with Alice.
Yep, that's it.
For anybody who, like I said, is a Resident Evil fan, recognized that and they were like, "Wow, that's cool." I thought that it was cool that they took the time to do that. And they're like, you know what? Fan shout out. If you recognize this, you're a fan.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat.
That was definitely towards any person that's played the past Resident Evil movies.
Right.
What am I talking? Games. Resident Evil games.
Let's see. Another thing that we thought was pretty cool was they didn't show this in the trailers at all. There was nothing about it in movie talk, the upcoming movies. I didn't see shit about it on Facebook. And when it happened, it shocked me and Steven to the point where we just looked at each other.
Holy shit!
What made us do that in the movie was just a total plot twist. Like I said, there was no news about this period, which is why it shocked us so much. But Ada started talking to Alice about a team that was coming in to aid them. And it shows up to the surface. At the moment, they're in this huge underground facility. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this and you haven't seen the movie, shame on you. They're in this huge underground facility and they're trying to take it down. It's controlled by the Red Queen, because the Red Queen is back.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. You're watching the video, so you've already committed to this. The team, they go up to the surface and show it on the ice. It's way out in the Arctic in Russia or some shit like that. And they show the team rolling up in these big, these tracked ice tanks, basically. They're like, ice transport vehicles. And it's, after it says, it's about the special team, it shows these guys, and they open the door, and the first guy to step out steps down into the ice, and it's you see blue jeans, you see his boots, and you're like, who's this guy? Then it pans up a little more, and you see his leg holster with the for his pistol. And you're like, hold on a minute, and then it pans up a little more, and you see the bottom of a brown leather jacket, and you're like, no, can't be. And it pans up to his face, and it's fucking Leon. And we were just like, no, it's fucking Leon. And it's just so cool because they hadn't put Leon in a Resident Evil movie yet, and it was just like, that's awesome.